know, the small intestine is important in the process of absorption. But how does it do that? Diffusion plays an important role in the absorption and assimilation process of digested food. Let's have a closer look. Absorption. The digestion of food results in the breakdown of large food molecules into smaller particles. The passage of this digested food from the alimentary canal into the blood and lymph is referred to as absorption. Small intestine is the principal site for the process of absorption. The mucous membrane of the small intestine is provided with folds which have many finger-like projections called villi. These villi increase the surface area for absorption. Most of the mucosal cells have several minute projections called microvilli. Smaller and water-soluble nutrient molecules diffuse into the blood through the mucous membrane by passive diffusion. Water is partly absorbed into the intestinal cells by osmosis and then transported to the blood. Sugars such as fructose and mannose are absorbed with the help of some carrier molecules present in the mucous membrane along the concentration gradients. This process is called facilitated diffusion and is faster as compared to simple passive diffusion. Glucose, galactose, amino acids, sodium ions, etc. are on the other hand absorbed by active transport through carrier proteins with the utilization of energy from the cell. The energy required for this process is obtained by hydrolysis of ATP. Sodium ions are absorbed with the help of sodium pumps of the cell membrane. The digested fats include monoglycerides, fatty acids and glycerol. Glycerols are water-soluble, so they are directly absorbed by the mucosal cells of the intestine. The long chain of fatty acids and monoglycerides are insoluble in water in the intestinal lumen. Fatty acids, monoglycerides and bile salts aggregate to form water-soluble molecules called micelles. From these micelles, fatty acids, glycerols, sterols and fat-soluble vitamins are actively absorbed by the intestinal cells and are resynthesized into triglycerides or fats. The bile salts are freed and returned to the liver. The remnant of these micelles is left behind and combines with new fatty acids and monoacylglycerols. The intestinal absorptive cells then collect the resynthesized triglycerides or fats, combine them with phospholipids and cholesterol, and coat them with special proteins. These are then released through exocytosis into the lymphatic capillary of the villi called the lacteal in the form of protein-coated water-soluble fat globules or droplets called chylomicron. These droplets are then transported to the bloodstream through the central lacteal of the lymphatic system. To summarize, the passage of this digested food from the alimentary canal into the blood and lymph is referred to as absorption. Small intestine is the principal site for the process of absorption. The mucous membrane of the small intestine is provided with folds which have many finger-like projections called villi. Small and water-soluble nutrient molecules diffuse into the blood through the mucous membrane by passive diffusion. Water is partly absorbed into the intestinal cells by osmosis and then transported to the blood. The digested fats include monoglycerides, fatty acids and glycerol. Glycerols are water-soluble, so they are directly absorbed by the mucosal cells of the intestine. the digestive fat is then transported to the bloodstream through the central lacteal of the lymphatic system. When I say the word digestion, which part of the body comes to mind first? Usually, it's the stomach. While this may be a common answer, digestion begins even before the food has reached the stomach. Confused? Keep watching to relieve yourself of that confusion.